Alright, AMSTRAD fans, and today we're going to be taking a look at the entire Star Wars trilogy on the AMSTRAD, starting off of course with the original Star Wars. There's a nice title screen there, and also a nice rendition of the Star Wars theme here, so I'll let you have a bit of a listen to this quick. Yeah, not bad at all. Although it's a real shame. This is the only point which the music is used on. Just this option screen here to choose your controls. It's not used again at any point during the game, which is a real shame. It would have added a lot more sort of atmosphere to the game. But it's probably not been included for reasons that will become obvious when we start the game up. We've got some nice title screens here though. And it's nicely presented, you know, and gives a good feel of the arcade original. Now, all three games, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, they're all direct arcade conversions, and pretty damn faithful to the originals. And the original Star Wars arcade game, I would have to say, is probably my favourite arcade machine of all time, especially the sit-down cabinet. With you know, this sort of stereo sound, with basically Darth Vader and Obi-Wan talking at you with like sampled speech and stuff. When I was a little kid playing this in the arcades, you know, when I was on holiday with my parents, I think down in Bournemouth and Brighton and Torquay and all those places, this would be the first arcade machine I'd look to find. I absolutely loved it to bits. It's perhaps not the greatest arcade game ever, you know, but it's my favourite purely on, you know, nostalgia and good memories. And I was damn desperate to get this on my AMSTRAD as soon as I found it in a shop. So we'll start the game up here, and we're going to be doing long plays, and we're going to be doing it on hard level, each one. So here we go. It looks just like the arcade original. Decent shooty and explosion effects. And the vector graphics like you'd find in the arcade. Problem is though, which you'll see when you get at least you know, a few TIE fighters on the screen, is that the you know, the game's far too slow. And it starts to really chug and slow down when too much is on screen, like there. You notice my lasers there were sort of lagging, and which causes problems. See, they're firing nice and quickly there with nothing on screen, and then they start to slow down. So you find often you'll find like you're targeting like TIE fighters and stuff and shooting away, but because of the lag, it's not, you know, the hits aren't connecting. And it definitely gets very, very slow on the tower level here. You can see how badly you know, your the laser is lagging there, which makes it really difficult to get all the towers. On the earlier easy levels, instead of the towers, you do have the laser turrets bit. Which again suffers kind of like a similar problem, but it doesn't chug as much as this. It's still fair, you know. It's still faithful to the arcade original though. And it's no wonder they haven't included music within the gameplay, because it would just have slowed things down even more. So, right, we're on to the trench of the Death Star. one of the most iconic moments in you know, movie history and also gaming history. And it's nicely done. But we are missing the like the basically the side, the laser sort of turrets that appear on the side there to shoot. So here we go. On the final run, all you got to do is shoot in the exhaust port. You don't have like you know, one chance to do it with like one rocket or something like that. You can fire away madly, so it's quite easy to do. And there we go, we've completed the hard wave. But then again, obviously the waves just increase and increase. So we're on to basically wave 6, and we'll do this one as well. I'll show you that. Which unfortunately, this is where the game starts to, you start to lose interest in the game, because it's the same thing repeating over and over, only slightly harder. Different things do start to appear on the final trench level. You basically, instead of like the things you have to avoid going horizontally across, they appear vertically on the sides as well to navigate around as you get higher up the waves. So basically, you're just repeating the same thing over and over again. Unless you're a really mad Star Wars fan, you're not going to sort of glean much long-term enjoyment out of this game. But it's a nice sort of memento from the of the arcade original. I'm not aware if there's if you could get up to a certain wave level that the game is completed. I really couldn't be asked to sort of try and play it all the way through. I suspect there isn't. But guys, if you do know, there is actually sort of a point where the game goes, you've completed all the waves, and perhaps there is like an ending. Who knows? Then do let me know and correct me. But I'm fairly sure there isn't. It just sort of repeats over and over. And so the game's more of a score attack type of game. Get the highest score possible. Which I kind of like find it's fine in the arcades. With high score tables, if they were saved or whatever. Kind of prove your worth to your mates or other holiday makers if you're playing it on holiday. But seeing as you can't save the high score table anyway, and if you haven't got any mates that have got the same game to, basically to boast of bragging rights when you get into school or on the playground or whatever, then, there's not much point. Right, here we go again. The obstructions in the trench get a little bit tougher. But we're making good progress here. Now the Empire Strikes Back game is pretty similar to this. It uses vector graphics. If you don't know what vector graphics are, well, you're looking at it, it's basically sort of lines making up objects and sprites and stuff, which lends itself well to sort of 3D games. Used probably to best effect in things like Elite. But if you haven't seen Return of the Jedi game, then just wait and see. That's entirely different. So we're on to the 7th wave. TIE fighters get a little bit more aggressive. But to be honest with you, it's pretty easy to progress on this first section. Just watch out for the fireballs they shoot at you, and you can pretty much just avoid shooting them if you just want to get through. I've got Darth Vader's ship there. Nice. As for the movies, you know, I'm not going to talk too much about them. I'm not a huge Star Wars nerd or anything like that. I do like the movies, but you know, I'm not one of those Star Wars nerds, like, you know, I'm totally obsessed with it, like Simon Pegg in Spaced, the TV series, or Kevin Smith and his movies. They were just like good fun movies for me. Okay, let's go for this one more time. Now, this section would have been quite good fun actually if it wasn't just for the, you know, the lag and the slowdown, unfortunately. What would I give this game overall? You know, it's faithful to the arcade original, but you know, in terms of graphics and gameplay, it's there like it was in the, you know, the original, which you give, you know, good marks for. The graphics are nicely done. Sound effects are pretty good as well. But unfortunately, you know, there's no music in-game or in the title screens. Certainly in-game would have given it a lot more sort of atmosphere, made you feel more like you're in the movie. And unfortunately, the nasty slowdown, and it's just generally too slow. So really, well, and also basically generally the long-term appeal. Ooh, there you go. There's the side obstructions there that start appearing. And it gets a little bit more tighter. So yeah, anyway, overall 4.5 out of 10, maybe a 5. Just depends how much you like the arcade original, how much of a Star Wars fan I guess you are. Yeah, you can have a 5 out of 10. So there you go. Oh, and the music reappears on the high score table, my apologies. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we're on to Empire Strikes Back next. Alright, see you then.